welcome along. This is Virtual Farmer, and in this video we're going to be having a look at Rettenbach. This is a European map for Farming Simulator 25. It's fictional, so it's not based on a real area, and it has a massive number of required mods. I know some people don't like a lot of required mods on the map, and unfortunately this is one of those maps that has, I think it's around 30 required mods for it. So I think you need a little bit of space on your PC or in fact on your console. This is a console map as well, so it's going to take up quite a few of your mod slots, I think, to run this map. But from what I've seen initially, quite a nice looking map. It seems to be quite tight and good. I've driven a truck from the shop to here, and there's some interesting bits and pieces for us to look at, I think, as a result of that journey. But it's looking like a nice tidy map from what I've seen so far. Let's have a quick look at the PDA before we set off. And yeah, this has a massive number of fields. In total, 222 fields on this map. There are 35 meadows in that. As you can see, though, from the numbers, there are way more farmlands than that, with us having numbers up in the 240s. We've got several wolds, which I think must be woodland areas from what I can tell. So those are, of course, the most expensive bits on here. I think I found the most expensive one, 850, 875. Yes, it's this one over here. We've got 875 for farmland 244. So fairly expensive woodlands on here. We've got a farmland 200, which is a field that is the most expensive field at 422,000. And then I found down here by the shop, farmland ID 151 is our cheapest at 14,640. So quite a wide range in the prices of fields on this map, which is really nice. Lots of smaller fields as well, as you can see from this. So there is a good opportunity on here to start from scratch. You'll certainly be able to pick up a few fields before you, with your starting money. The one thing I would say is that most of these fields are a very regular shape. If you're looking for something with more variety in its field shapes, I don't think this map is that map. I mean, there are odd bits coming off the maps, but they tend to be very rectangular, very sort of regular cornered, right angle cornered fields. These, there are a few. I mean, 174 has this very wonky side here, and 72 has a little bit of a different shape to it, but for the most part there are very rectangular fields on this map. Productions wise, you own a mini biogas plant, and we'll have a look at that when we have a look around the main farmyard. Everything is turned on, so just a quick reminder to go through and deactivate everything, otherwise this is going to cost money. And for the other productions, we have a smattering of basic productions, which is absolutely perfect. I'm very happy to see some base productions in here. We've got a bakery, we've got a biogas plant, we've got a cement factory, we've got a dairy, we've got a sawmill, and we've got a spinnery. Only thing I would say about this, there's no grain mill on here. So your bakery, you're going to have to place down a grain mill in order to use the bakery. So I quite would have liked to have seen a grain mill in here. You've got the second step in the production and you're missing the first. Otherwise, yeah, that's looking great. I'm quite happy with that. So only real criticism there for this is, yeah, this map could do with a grain mill if it's going to have a bakery. But otherwise, yeah, that's looking good. So let's come and have a look at some nice houses and things. As I said, this has a lot of mods, so it does rely, or a lot of required mods. So it does rely on a lot of stuff from the mod hub. Some of them are really nice mods to include, and I said I'd get back to this in a minute. This mini biogas plant in the main farmyard, I really quite like that. I think that's absolutely great. There's a much bigger biogas plant in the map, but having this built into the main yard is very, very nice. We've got a whole host of sheds in here. Some nice storage sheds. We've got some, this is, oh, I think this might be an animal shed, actually. No. Interestingly, this has a tipping point here, but I don't know what for, because there's nothing to indicate why. And it's actually quite close to all of these bollards that you get on the way in and out of the farmyard here. These, I'm not sure how I feel about these bollards coming in here. Especially with entrance to this shed here. Yeah, we've definitely got an input and an output in this shed, but I've no idea what for. That's very interesting as to exactly what that shed is doing. But yeah, back to these bollards. They are very solid, and I think certainly you can't get into this shed from this direction with this. This bollard here especially is a little bit annoying. So I like the idea. Do farmyards have these at all? These just seem like something that you're either going to damage your equipment on, or you are going to get destroyed very, very quickly. They're a little bit of a weird addition to this farmyard for me. I think I do wonder, actually, if I go into the build mode, can I remove those? Let's have a quick look. Yes, they're part of their lights. Oh, wow. So, yeah, they're lights to light your way in. I think those would get destroyed very, very quickly, to be honest, coming into a farmyard like that. Heavy equipment is going to take those out very, very fast. We definitely have animals here. This is cows. So that is a cow shed that we've got in there, which is very obvious when you look around the corner. We've got a silo here, or a silage clamp over there. And we have, I guess this is a hayloft. Yes, in fact, it says it down the bottom right-hand corner. So yeah, that's a hayloft. If I come back over here, is this going to tell me what this actually is? Was I being stupid? No, there really is nothing that tells me what this is. Oh, there we go. Bale storage. That's what this is. This is somewhere to store bales. And if I come here, yeah, okay, there we go. Well, we solved that mystery at the very least. So, yeah, that's really quite a nice setup. I like the yard. The layout of the yard's quite nice. We've got a silo over that way as well. We will go through all the equipment, although the equipment is fairly thin on the ground on this map. We have got our International Series 200 with MT26, because this is my 26th map tour in Farming Simulator 25. And we are going to go and have a drive around this map in our very lime green truck for this go. So, yeah, good starting yard. I like the size of it. Plenty of room to expand and everything. Like this track out of here. This is the only way out of that farmyard. And it leads through the fields. Let's get our map on. Only field you start owning is 85, which is this field here. I don't think we own anything else other than the yard. No, so we've got 85 there and the yard. None of these fields around it you start with on New Farmer. You start with a field over there, 199 as well. I can't see anything else you own, which is a little bit weird. I think I would like to have fields around my farm owned. It's always a bit strange to me on a map when you've got all these fields surrounding the main farm, and it ends up that you start off with a field absolutely miles away from where you own. is a bit strange. So I am just sort of winding my way around him. Now, one of the problems with this map is the PDA does not easily show the roads. It is quite a confusing PDA from that point of view. The fields are very close together, and there's not a lot of indication of exactly where the roads go. And you can see here we've got roads everywhere. So this feels very much like a map I'm going to get lost in very, very quickly. And I'm trying to make my way over to this area over here to see what this is. And this appears to be for animals. This is a satellite yard for animals. Looks like cows to me, I think. We don't own it, so we can't fully check. But yeah, that looks like cows. A cow shed here with a very interesting collection area here. Not sure. Oh, is this this might be some sort of construction, maybe? Yeah, not quite sure what that is in this corner here, but this is taking quite a way out the bottom here, and we want to try and work our way up, I think, towards the town. So there's a roadway slightly north of us. If we head along this one here, this should take us up to it and start taking us towards the main town and the shop, which would be very useful to us. Yeah, here we go. So we've got a main road down here and round. I want to have a look at one of the woodland areas on here, see what kind of detail we've got underneath. The roadsides are okay. There's not a lot of detail to them other than sort of the basic grass. We're not getting many bushes or anything like that around. It feels a very it feels a very proficient map. It's not like it's built badly or anything. It does feel like it lacks a bit of the detail that we've seen on other maps recently. So there is that. We've got the what have we got there? That looks like the sawmill in there. It is land you can purchase. We'll just spin around here quickly. Try not to make everybody head spin too fast as I do. Yeah, these trees, I'm having to keep the camera very low because otherwise we're going to be going back and forth a lot. I cannot see how you get into that area. That's very interesting. This has no entrance on either side, and it seems to just be fenced off completely. Oh, it's the entrance on this far side here. And this is what I mean about the roads. That is, yeah, the entrance is on the far side over here, and this does look like a sawmill. I think that's pretty much what it is. So around the side and in, and yeah, we've got a drop-off point here. This does look, again, the amount of mods down here, there's a lot of custom buildings, and yeah, this looks like a custom sawmill to me. So yeah, looking nice. There is that thing of that adding the extra to it, having all of that, having all of these mods in does mean that we at least get custom bits and pieces. So let's not hit the lamppost. Let's head down here. A little bit of character in here. We've got a few houses in, which is very nice. We've got a sell point here, which is why I'm heading down this way. Much easier to get into this one. And this is the bakery, I think, unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, so this is the bakery. Nicely nestled in the middle here. Nice little area there. It feels there is very much a rural feel to this, and I know that's very obvious in a farm sim game, but I mean everything is sort of slightly disconnected. We've not got a particularly deep town at the moment in here, and that's all okay. That's nice. It's got a nice open feeling to it, I think is what I'm trying to get at. So yeah, looking good. I don't have a particular plan for making my way around this map, as you can probably tell. It all feels, being difficult to see the roadways makes it a little bit more difficult to actually get to work out a plan of how to get around it. So we're sort of weaving our way around a little bit, and I've kind of gone the completely opposite direction to the way I expected to go. Now, if I keep an eye out around here, we should be able to take a right turn down here. There we go. And I think we got the farmer's market down this way. Yep, we've got a manure purchase point, and we got the farmer's market there. That is fantastic. So that's built in there as a sell point. And then we want to head out and over here. And I think we've got the main BGA up here. Now, the main BGA I don't think appears as a sell point. Like many BGAs that we've seen recently, I think you got to purchase it to use it, which is, it's a weird trend that's kind of been happening. And I personally don't like it. I would much rather the BGA was a production point you could purchase rather than having to purchase the land to get the BGA up and running. We've seen it a few times, and yeah, this is it in here. Those gates, well, those gates from this angle aren't great, but they're fine for everything else. I think they probably should have opened inwards. We've got a big shed there, the main BGA over here, and then another big shed over here. This actually would be perfect area to purchase and do a big silage operation on this map. The field's open to it. You can merge a load of these fields together and just do massive amounts of silage. Would work very, very well on here. We've got another shed over this way, sort of down there. Some more buildings. Looks like another farm over that way, maybe. We have a look at the map itself. Yeah, I think that's a farm over there. 253. That looks like. Over there is a farmyard, and we're gonna go past that. But yeah, that's built into here as well. If we head down this way, though, we're gonna take a right turn in a minute and have a look at the bits down here, which seem to be a bit more built in. Round and down. Yeah, I'm the PDA is not overly clear, I think is probably my conclusion from that. It's not the easiest PDA to work with. We've got dairy in there. We've got a couple of other bits. That looks like, I'm not sure what building that is. That looks like a grain mill, which is odd. And that there seems to be more productions here than I expected. So this is just a straight up sell point. It's a bakery, but it's a straight up sell point, which I thought that was going to be a production point. We've got a gap in the fence there that you can't get through. Lots of people walking around here. We've got our dairy over here, and it's this building over here. This I initially thought was a spinnery, but it does not seem to be. Production point. Here we go. Vehicle workshop. That's interesting. Any indication of what this building actually is? This looks to me. Here we go. Oh, this is the wholesale. This is the warehouse. Okay. That makes sense now. I did not know the warehouse has a vehicle workshop attached to it. Interestingly. Yeah. I thought for a moment that that was a that might be a grain mill that wasn't listed, but no, it is a vehicle workshop. It is a warehouse. So that's really interesting. Good little industrial area that's all built into, like that a lot. These roads are really nice. I do like the textures and everything on the roads. The roads have a good amount of character to them. We've got the actual shop down this way. We should be able to get down to that here. If we just come around this road here. I think there's a road in somewhere along here. This is so very, very winding, this map. Yeah, here we go. So all the road, none of the roads seem to be attached to the side of the thing. Everywhere seems to have a driveway. Good vehicle shop in here. These are all vehicles not usable by your farm, but appear as vehicles on the map, which is a really neat way of doing things. We've seen that done a few times. But yeah, good space here for you to get your to purchase everything you need. If we have a look on here, we do have a couple more bits to go and look at. We need to backtrack on ourselves a little bit to come and have a look at another cluster of sell points and production around here. Very flat map, this, not a lot of elevation to it. It's yeah, very wide, very open. I'm not sure about the field layouts on this. I'm not. Over here we have got looks like another production facility. Is this the this is the spinnery, isn't it? Yeah, that's the spinnery. We've then also got purchase points for lime, it looks like, and gas, maybe methane, possibly. But yeah, so it's all laid out very nicely. I'm just not. There's just a little bit less detail around than I think I would like to see. I mean, everything's nicely laid out. There's a good level of detail from that point of view. There's some nice productions in here. We've got trees everywhere. It all looks very proficient, this map, and that's good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this map. And that's where I'm stumbling. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this map. It's a very proficiently built map. This is sell point for wood chips. So I would have expected this to be the sawmill. And it is. That's exactly where we are. Which is a perfect opportunity for us to have a look in the woods under here. We've got a few bushes and things. It's, again, under here, it's nicely done. It's very regular. It's very, you know, we've got patches like this. There's not a lot of randomness to it. It kind of looks planted. And I think that's probably my thing with this map, is that it works. It looks great, but it does feel manufactured. And that's where I think it comes down to. It is a nice map, but it's very regular. Everything feels very regular about this. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. At the end of the day, that comes down to personal preference. If you like a map that has very square edges, feels very ordered, doesn't have a lot of randomness to it, then yeah, this I think would work as a map for you. There, as I said, there's nothing wrong with it. It is a very it would work really well to start from scratch this. I think it would work either single farm multiplayer or multi-farm multiplayer as well. I think you'd have a good time playing this map either of those ways or any of those ways. I think you could get some very big equipment on here. I mean, there's a lot of flexibility to this map. It has you're able to go in and merge a lot of fields. So if you wanted to come in here, merge a load of fields and use some really big equipment, absolutely nothing stopping you doing that. There's a ton of ability to do that on this map. It you know, and you could make it interesting with some trees in the middle of the fields and things, because there are trees everywhere. It is, do you know what? I think that is probably my overall conclusion. This is a very flexible map, and I think it's flexible because of the way it's built to be very ordered. There's not a lot of stuff that's going to get in your way if you want to do something that initially this doesn't do. There's a few bits and pieces like that flower truck, that flower cart there, but for the most part, yeah, you could come in, you could plow together a load of fields on here, start with some bigger fields, and away you go. I think that is a very valid way of doing things. As I said at the start, I do like that those lights are removable. I think those would annoy me a lot very quickly. But yeah, this is a very proficient, very nice looking map. If a little bit regular, and that's an opinion. That's not overly a criticism of this map. And I think its greatest strength, this map, is its flexibility. The fact that you can, it's not a homesteading map, but you can go out there and you can very much plow stuff together and make the fields and the farm you want. And yeah, it's great for that. It does suffer a little bit from the fact that it does require so many mods. It does have a large forestry component to it, so if you want to do a load of forestry, there is that as well. Let's have a look at the equipment that you start with then and see where we are. And slightly more equipment than I thought we were going to start with on here. We've got an Albert Bale Spike, we've got Deutz-Fahr 6115C RV Shift Tractor, a FarmTech EDK 650 trailer, a FarmTech Super Sys 800 slurry spreader, a Horsch Credo 3 and Horsch Versa. These two make a seeder together. The International I added, the Kuhn GA 4731 Tedder, a Massey Ferguson MF 8570 combine header and header trailer. We got a Pottinger Alpine Hit 4.4H Tedder, a Pottinger Boss Alpine 251 forage wagon, a Pottinger Servo 25 plow, a Quickie Q4M front loader, a Salak RZK 300H fertilizer spreader, a Sam's KDF 3141S front mower, and a Sam's XT390 rear mower. So enough to set yourself going with the BGA and creating some silage, enough to start getting cows going. Only one tractor is a very interesting. We don't often see a new farmer startup with just a single tractor. We've got no working hours or conditions on anything, and at this point I'm not overly expecting these on a map. But yeah, single tractor, which I think you could possibly do with a second tractor. Otherwise, yeah, this is great. I'm very pleased with this setup. It's enough to get you started without overloading you, and there's nothing in there superfluous. Absolutely fantastic. So there we go. Those are my thoughts on Rettenbach. It is, yeah, I think it's a very flexible map. I think it's a little bit regular, a little bit I don't want to use the term basic because I think that would be unfair to it, but it's not got a lot of stuff beyond the basics, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think it gives you enough to get started and to build the farm you want, which is actually a really strong positive for this map. So if this is the kind of map that will interest you, go check it out. It is available for PC, Mac, PS5 and Xbox Series 1, Series X and S. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you think, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Huge thank you as well to all of my patrons and channel members. These videos are only made possible thanks to your support. If you want more from Virtual Farmer, please check out the videos on screen now or subscribe for more. And I will see you next time.